Hey you guys, you have encountered the Golden Prinny. Now, firstly, if you guys know about the old me, that... Wait a minute, you changed something. Well, I'll explain that later, but right now, I think we should all come see what I have here for today. I have a Glare deck profile. Yep, to be honest, I actually like this new Go Paladin thing. Yeah, I could use the G Paladins and probably SO as well. But out of all the things, I think Bluish is probably my personal favorite thing, and it's not gonna budge one single bit. I think it's going to be one of those decks I'm going to be keeping pretty much until the bitter end of this game. Which, to be honest, I hope it lasts for a pretty long time. Alright, so anyway, I am going to be starting with the starter and then continue from grade 3, all the way and descending down, then end it off with a stride. Alright, so obviously, oh yeah, by the way, I like to give thanks for the guy that actually got the deck profile from Domino Paris. You guys probably, Vanguard guys might know about him, but if in case you don't, I'm going to leave a channel link in my description. This is pretty much where I got most of it. I did a little few alterations, such. For example, Guido, my starter. CV1 Glare is pretty hard not to pass up. So much that we have two. Look familiar? It probably should, if you looked at Domino Paris' deck profile. But guess what? There's few alterations to it. And it probably might show off kind of, probably from the grade 2s and down. Because the grade 3s is pretty staple for the time being. We got 4 glares, you know, you gotta have that glory skill going off more often. Then he's a pretty good field setupper. So yeah, there's that. And also we can't forget about 4 Percivals. Some people go for core just so they have a good backup Vanguard, which I will agree with. But to be honest though, I actually do like to have a little bit of recovery just in case I face against retire happy decks. Because there were some times where I actually ended up with an empty field and I still had Percival right there. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and Legion up. And I get some couple Aglovales and I'm all happy. So that's the reason why I have Percival in there. That and there's one glaring weakness towards core is that he doesn't hit the number unless he gets a persona call. So that'll be like a 20k. This one, on the other hand, only hits for 22. That is good. That's good. It still hits for a good 15k shooting on its own. So that's pretty much the two key differences, and kind of makes you, run Percival over that. So anyway, that all well and done. Let's move on to the grade 2s. Most of it is pretty self-explanatory. We got 4 of Regulation Aglovale. Search for those bluish flames. Get an 11k attacker when you're at grade 3. Always good. Always good. And then we have the MVP of the deck, Mr. Aglovale. Gotta run for him because 1, he's a mate of Percival. Secondly, here is one of the things I actually like about the Bluish Flames. They have probably the fastest superior calling you can ever get. Just because of Aglovale. And also this counts for any other Liberator decks that actually use him as well. So he's a pretty good staple if you ask me. So if you can, run for him. And now we got some good brand new cards fresh from GBTO3 that's been recent, unless you're watching this in the future, so that's pretty irrelevant. Mr. Brain, I run 2 Brenniuses. I like him very, very well. He's a pretty good pressure guy whenever you superior call something. Superior Call another guy. He gets a +2k with an on-hit damage on foot. Always good, always good. That good little pressure. You know, just a little poke. You get a damage on foot. Oh, you want to hear the best part? It stacks. It stacks. So you could be hitting like that ridiculous number of 17. Probably like say 17k unflipped 4 damage. Yeah, unflipped door 4 damage. You heard that right, folks. Now, this is where my deck and Domino's tech profile kind of hinders off. I run a tech in Lawful Trumpeter. The reason why behind that is because, well, actually two things. One, he actually can give you a free superior call when you Legion, which, well, the deck is going to be doing that most of the time. So you always get that. And I still like that CB1 glare so much. So that's pretty much the reason why I run one of him. I still like the unflip very much so. But I also like the CB1 glare. And so far, it's actually doing pretty good in testings. And trust me, this thing has went through a lot of testing. And I mean a lot. So, yeah. That's my grade 2 lineup. And this is my G1 lineup. Most of it is pretty simple. I got 4 PGs. See, Domino? I finally got it. I got my 1 mark. No more of that 1 air trade. I actually did trade it off, so, sorry, boss. Sorry if you can get to me fast enough. Or, no, I don't know. But yeah, 4 PGs. And I have 4 Brunos. Probably the MVP. Pretty much the MVP. The backbone, the meat and potatoes of this deck. Mr. Bruno gets a +3k whenever you superior call something. So, since you're going to be superior calling pretty hectic, you can reach him like from 6 to probably like as much as a 22k booster. Which is very, very funny. And also he makes for a pretty good damage sponge. And then we have 3 Josephus. I still like the card very much. He actually provides a Soul Blast to draw a card. I actually like to draw a little bit more. So it's always good. And also the Soul Blast is perfectly fine as well because that can be used to re-legion back the card that was put into the soul. For example, Regulation Aglovale, or an Oath, or a perfect card, anything. This guy's always here to serve his country. And now the last one. These were supposed to be Zorons, but I actually tested out 2 Stride Enablers. I think his name is Donnie Knight Gordoduc. Wow, I butchered that name so much. But yeah, I've been testing this thing out, and it's actually working not too bad. The reason why I'm not running Zoran, I'm running these 2 instead of Zoran, is mainly because the meta kind of dictates that you need to Stride in order to keep up with most of the decks nowadays. So it's always good to have 2 Stride Enablers, so that way you don't need to use any of your grade 3s, so that way you can actually save up for glare. You know, so that way you can glare up to 7 times. Or either that you can go for one other strategy that I realized. But I'll show you that when we hit to the strides. Other than that, that's pretty much my grade 1 lineup. Alright, we're going to be hitting on to the triggers. I'm going to be showing you the necessities first. For Barbtrucs. Same thing applies to Brennius. When she gets called from the called at the rear guard from the deck. Yeah, this thing had a misprint right there. You can put her back into the deck, search the top 4 for a Bluish flame. So it's pretty much another Aglovale. Aglovale, in other words. So another regulation Aglovale. So that's always good, and it's a crit too. That's always welcome. And some people actually run draw triggers over this guy, but to be honest, I love my Ketchgals. This doggy always comes by whenever I need him to power up the Brunos, to give me a give me another chance of a good superior call, to just be gosh darn adorable. I mean, look at him. He goes bow wow, and also he's pretty much the reason why I love this. I love that card so much. It was pretty much the reason why I run this. Here's another reason. I hate witches. That thing counters witches. I am fine with that. And then for heals, pretty much, to be honest, it's. You can do whatever you want. You can put that Napco in there. You can put that Elixir Liberator. As long as it has Liberator. So that way you have something to call. Something to call instead of Gordoduc and also these other things as well. But wait a minute, Golden. That's only 12 triggers. That's an illegal debt. Well, yep, that's true. That's why I run two flame victories, crit triggers. So that means I have 6 crit, 4 heals. What's my other last 2? 2 stands. This one was also came out in GPGO3. I tested this thing out at first just to see how it works, and so far it actually is pretty good. It is pretty good. In fact, it's probably one of those triggers where it actually complements itself. Why do you ask? Okay, let me explain. Alright, I shall explain the reason why I run one Gigantech ring. Well, let's just say that you superior call something like superior call anybody, you know, using a glare skill or whatnot, and you superior call something like Aglovale or Brennius or something. Brennius, anything. You can use a Gigantech Ringer skill, put him back inside the deck, give him a plus 5k, which would make him a 16k attacker on his own, and you get to draw an extra card. That's actually pretty good. Now, since it goes back to under the deck, you might be able to chance to trigger check him, to drive check him on the fly. So that means when you attack with him, you get to stand up back with the 21k. That's a 15k shielding they have to cough up. And since glare skill can only affect grade 1s and above, you can guarantee they're going to be dropping these things a lot more often when you attack with them. So getting those stands out there can actually really pressure them quite a bit. So yeah, that was my triggers. I run 6 crit, 6 stands, 4 heals. So far, it's actually working pretty fine to me. And I don't want to change it one bit. And lastly, here comes the strides. Alright, so I run 2 Scourge Point Dragons. The only reason why I run him is because of Aglovale. It's just, you could just pull out some really stupid shenanigans with him. You could just probably call Aglovale, okay, I get to superior call something, hey, he gets plus 5, he gets plus 5. Oh, wait a minute, that's a Ketchgal. Let's put it back. Superior call another one. Gets plus 5, he gets plus 5. So, in other words, you got a pretty good strong, semi-strong turn right there. So, but that's only because that's only with Aglovale. So I only run 2 of him. Then I run 3 Cambells. He's usually the first stride I ever do. Cause again, he gets in a superior call. And the best part is, I can superior call at any rear guard. So that means, let's just say I attack with a rear guard, let's just pretend this is an attacker. And then when he hits, I get to superior call something on top of that. Getting like another attack, or any other shenanigans I can pull. In other words, he is pretty much the starter for the shenanigans. Alright, then lastly, and this is pretty much I will say, this is a staple for any Legion deck that is out there. Madew. Unless you already have a pretty good stride, Madew is always a good one, because when you stride on top of her, if you have a hard card that has 10k or less power, you don't need to choose the card. You get to choose a grade 3 card from the drop zone and put it onto hand. So that basically means you got a free stride. Yes, it's vanilla, but who cares? You got a free stride. And since Glare actually needs some little strides right here, you can usually get that. It needs some grade 3s. Madew's going to be pretty much your most ideal ride. I was thinking about running 4 of her, but then I realized that would make it too vanillish, if you ask me. So, 3 Madew is good enough. I see some people actually run Golden Cross, no, wait, what was it? Cross Spear Dragon, just because they can have some way to do it, but to me, I think I'd rather try to stride as much as possible. Now, you may be wondering, why do I have the stride enablers in the first place? Well, let's just say I stride with that grade 1, put a Madew out, I get a grade 3 back. It's a good simple trade-off. So yeah, that's pretty much one of the reasons why I run it. And secondly, it doesn't tamper into my grade 3s. Grade 3s at bad. Most of the time for this deck, I only see strides up to, well, I only see myself striding like once or twice. But hey, it's actually pretty good. I might consider running Golden Cross Spear in the near future, but right now the stride lineup is perfectly fine the way it is. So yeah, that is pretty much my deck profile. If you want to see more of this, please comment, like it, and subscribe to my channel for more pretty shenanigans. And I will see you later. Bye, dudes.